You know, I think this video has been a long time coming, but this is how I personally think about dirt. Welcome back to American Beef Ranch. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you guys watching this video. You know what to do, the YouTube things that help the YouTube, you just do those, okay? Appreciate it. Anyway, today I want to talk a little bit about how I personally think about dirt. Now, I've talked about it a little bit in videos slightly older than this one, but I want to spend a little bit more time on my personal philosophy on dirt and how I've come about to get there. Now, if I'm scratchy or my voice cuts out, I'm sick, don't hold it against me. I'm sorry, but not really. Anyway, so personally, I do not believe in chemical anything. I don't believe in chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, or any of that. I do not believe that it needs to be used in agriculture whatsoever. Obviously, you can go against that, you can be for that, but I'm also not for outlawing any of those things because, you know, it's hard for people to just automatically drop one thing and do another thing and then like survive. So I'm not against using those things. Well, I personally won't use them, but other people may need to use them. And if that's your path to get to the common goal of freaking corn stalks, soil health and improvement in your soil, and your goal is to regenerate the ground, but you may use some other ways to get there, that's okay. And that's kind of, oh my goodness. The entire premise of this video is that there's more than one way to get to the same destination, and one way may be better than another way. I don't really know, but the way that I feel about it is this, and there's other reasons I feel other ways are not as good, I guess you could say. So, I believe in carbon-based, low-sodium, biological stimulating, world-shaking, awesome fertilizers. That's what I believe. I believe that we have to use amendments to the soil in some form or another to get soil headed in the right direction. The reason I believe this is because Mother Nature can fix anything and all problems if she's given the right amount of time. The problem for humans is that Mother Nature's timeline is a heck of a lot longer than your lifespan, right? If you're lucky, you're gonna get to be a part of 70 growing seasons. If you're really lucky, more likely 40 or 50 growing seasons. You have a relatively short window in the grand scheme of things to make large amounts of improvement on your soil. So I am totally for putting amendments on the soil, in the water, what have you, however you get them on there to help kick Mother Nature in the right direction, okay? And how do we get there? Well, first off, a good soil test is a great place to start, because my thinking is there is basically, right, two parts of soil. We could get into the nitty-gritty, but there's two parts. You have the minerals, the air and the water, right? You have the minerals, air and the water, and you have the biological component. Two really important components. Some guys jump on the biology train and they just like feed the biology, do this to the biology and do all those things. I totally believe those things, but I don't believe in bugs in a jug. I believe in building the biology a home and giving them some food to do their job, because even if the soil sucks, there's a lot of dormant biology right underneath your feet that have not been given the opportunity to correct any of the soil issues. So when we look at a soil test, we look at the base saturation. We need to balance that. If our carbon to nitrogen ratio is low, we need to raise our carbon. If we have a micronutrient that is low, we need to raise that. If we have compaction, we have to figure out a way to remove that compaction. Now, Mother Nature can do this on her own, but it's going to take a long time. One thing that we notice a lot nowadays is we have low sulfur. Yes, decomposition of organic matter will create sulfur, but if you amend that sulfur, don't you get a faster response? And usually the answer is yes. Now, applying that sulfur, if you're using a low sodium applicable sulfur, whatever the form is, are you going to hurt the bugs? In the amount that you're putting on? Probably not, okay? So we're not hurting the biology, but we're correcting the mineral deficiencies. So my goal as a consultant, as a fertilizer salesman, as a helper to farmers is to help them correct the mineral problems while also giving the biology a home and some food to do their job. I don't believe in just doing other things. I look at the biology or the major like biological stimulant companies or the bugs in a jug companies as a secondary amendment to primary amendments that are the minerals. Okay? Now I wish it wasn't this way. I wish I could just focus on the bugs, but you can't because the soil itself is so screwed up and out of whack that you're not able to even give the bugs the proper place they need to do their job. Okay? And so that's why, in my mind, the minerals are far more important than just putting bugs out there all the time, because you're literally just sacrificing them. And that's okay, because they'll do a job, they'll help get a response, they will help you. But if, you know, like a Johnson Soup bioreactor is used as a soil conditioner or as a seed treatment, that is an awesome use for that stuff. But I don't think you should just rely on the Johnson Soup bioreactor to get a response of your crop in your corn if those nutrients aren't there. If those nutrients are there, that's a different question. But usually, somewhere in there, a nutrient is out of balance, and it would help you to add that instead of just throwing bugs out in the wind. Now, I'm not saying the guys that put a lot of bugs out on their field or add a whole bunch of carbon sources. Heck, I want more carbon. I've got bales behind me for bale grazing. We like straw, we like hay, we like any kind of carbon we can put in the ground. But we also know that there's other minerals that are very important that we have to balance. Bug guys, you're not wrong. And I have nothing against you. It's just personally, in my mind, if there's a way that I can tactfully get the ground in a better situation, I'm going to do that, because it's going to fast track the soil's improvement. Whether that's using tactical tillage, smartly applied amendments that are low in sodium and carbon based and have high carbon values, or secondarily using biological bugs to help feed the soil as a conditioner or soil amendment. Now look, you definitely should be using all three of those, but if there is something you should start in, personally I believe it's in the minerals and not in the bugs. If you really want to just give your bugs that you already have, because you already have billions of biology in the soil, a great chance, reduce your compaction, increase your available calcium, add some carbon and add some oxygen, and you'll have more biological stimulation than you know what to do with. Another dirty little secret, there's all these companies that have these biological stimulants, and they're so worried about stimulating biology. If you want to stimulate biology, one of the best ones you can use is literally granular sugar. You can put granular sugar in some water and go spray it out on the ground, or put it in furrow when you plant your corn, or do whatever, and you can stimulate your biology. Because sugar is carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen, and bugs love carbon and oxygen. And if you have high pH, you're also lacking a little hydrogen, so that extra hydrogen ion is not going to hurt you. Anyway, guys, my name's Jesse. This is American Beef Ranch. There's 100 billion different ways to get to soil health and soil improvement and using regenerative ag, and nobody's wrong, but I feel like I'm a little more right. God bless. Have a wonderful day.